The rain falls in sheets against the cracked pavement, each drop catching the amber glow of the single streetlight that still works on this forgotten corner. I stand beneath the awning, key in hand, watching water cascade from the gutters in hypnotic streams. 372 years, and the sound of rain still soothes the hollow space inside me. My fingers trace the weathered brass nameplate beside the door. Shelter for Hope. A century ago, I might have scoffed at such sentimentality. Now I fund it, though few know the reclusive benefactor's face. The key feels unnaturally cold against my skin, colder than my own flesh, which hasn't known true warmth since 1651. The scent of wet concrete mingles with distant car exhaust and something sweeter. Someone's dinner from the apartment above. Food. Another memory that has faded to intellectual recognition rather than desire. I inhale deeply anyway, collecting the night's information through senses humans can't comprehend. My watch reads 11:43 p.m. The shelter closed hours ago. The volunteers gone home to their families, their warm beds, their temporary troubles. I come now to review the books, to ensure my money flows where it should. The solitude suits me. Humans are complicated. Their heartbeats, their rushing blood. It's distracting, tempting, even after all these centuries of restraint. I slide the key into the lock, feeling each tumbler give way. The mechanism recognizes my touch, as if greeting an old friend. The heavy door swings open with a familiar creak, and I step inside, shaking raindrops from my coat. They catch the light like tiny diamonds before spattering against the worn linoleum floor. The darkness doesn't trouble me. I see everything. The stack of donated blankets in the corner, the sign-in sheets on the desk, the calendar marked with meal schedules and counseling appointments. My fingers brush against the wall, feeling every imperfection in the paint, every place where human hands have touched and left their invisible marks. I'm halfway to the office when I hear it. A heartbeat. Outside. Small, rapid, like a frightened bird. Not an adult. A child. My body tenses, ancient instincts rising unbidden. I force them down, centuries of practice keeping the predator at bay. But something else rises too. Curiosity. Children don't wander these streets alone at night. Not in this neighborhood. Not in this rain. I turn, moving silently back to the entrance, listening. The heartbeat grows more distinct, irregular, stressed. There's a faint whimpering beneath the steady drumming of the rain. I open the door. She's huddled against the wall, a tiny figure drenched in rainwater, arms wrapped around knees pulled tight to her chest. Dark hair plastered to a pale face, clothes soaked through. 8 years old, perhaps 9. Eyes too large for her face, too knowing for her age. Those eyes lock onto mine immediately, as if she's been waiting, as if she knew I would come. "Are you Mr. Cross?" Her voice barely carries above the rain, but I catch every syllable. My hand tightens on the doorframe. I've been careful, so careful. The shelter staff know me only as Nathan, the night manager who handles administrative tasks. Not Nathan Cross, the name I've carried through this century, one of dozens I've worn like temporary clothes. "Who's asking?" I keep my voice gentle, unthreatening. The predator in me notes how small she is, how vulnerable. The man I pretend to be, the man I sometimes wish I were, silences that voice. Lily. She doesn't move, doesn't blink away the raindrops that cling to her eyelashes. "Lily Carter. My mom said if anything happened, I should find Mr. Cross at the Shelter for Hope." The rain seems to pause between us, suspended in time. I haven't felt true cold in centuries, but something icy slides down my spine. Your mother. I step forward, crouching to her level, careful to move at human speed. Where is she now? The girl's lower lip trembles. Her heartbeat stutters, then races. She died yesterday. The hospital said it was her heart, but it wasn't. It was them, the ones she was afraid of. My nostrils flare, taking in her scent beneath the rain. Something familiar threads through it, something that tugs at ancient memories. I extend my hand, then hesitate. Touch is dangerous, reveals too much, but she's shivering, her lips tinged faintly blue. Come inside, Lily. You're freezing. She doesn't move. Are you going to help me? Mom said you would. She said you have to. I don't know your mother. The lie feels strange on my tongue. I've told countless lies across the centuries, worn them like comfortable clothing. Why does this one feel wrong? You did. Before. Her eyes never leave mine. A long time ago. Inside, the fluorescent lights hum and flicker, casting harsh shadows across the girl's face. I've wrapped her in the softest blanket we have, made hot chocolate in the microwave. She holds the mug with both hands but doesn't drink. Steam rises between us like a veil. I sit across from her at the break room table, maintaining careful distance. Her heartbeat has steadied, but something else troubles me. The scent, familiar yet impossible. It carries echoes of someone I knew, someone who died over a century ago. Lily, I begin, choosing my words with precision. How did you know where to find me? She takes a sip of chocolate, leaving a brown smudge on her upper lip. Mom had your address in her special book, the one she kept in the wall behind her dresser. My fingers tap against the table, a human gesture I've adopted to mask tension. And she told you to come to me if something happened to her? Lily nods, her dark hair falling across her face. She pushes it back with a small hand. She said you'd know what to do, about the men who were watching us. What men? I lean forward, senses heightened, scanning her face for lies. Children rarely lie well to me. They sense the predator beneath the human mask. The ones in the black car. They followed us from school sometimes. Her voice drops to a whisper. Mom said they were looking for something in our blood. The fluorescent light above us buzzes, flickers, then stabilizes. I force myself to breathe normally, though I have no need for oxygen. It's a human habit, comforting in its rhythm. Lily, I need to call someone. Child Protective Services, no! The mug slams down, hot chocolate sloshing over the rim. Fear spikes her scent, sharp and acrid. Mom said only you. She said they'd find me if anyone else knew. I stand, pacing to the window. Rain streams down the glass, distorting the empty street beyond. The weight of centuries presses down on me. All the promises I've made and broken, all the lives I've touched and ruined. I've spent decades building walls between myself and human entanglements. This child threatens to breach them all. Your mother must have confused me with someone else. Another lie. The pieces are aligning in ways I don't want to acknowledge. I can't take responsibility for a child. She said you'd say that. Lily's voice is suddenly older, knowing. She said to tell you that you promised Emily on the cliffs at Dunhaven. The name hits me like a physical blow. Emily, the cliffs, 1923. Impossible knowledge from this child's lips. I turn slowly, studying her features with new intensity. The shape of her eyes, the curve of her jaw. Genetic echoes passing through generations. Could it be? Who was Emily to your mother? My voice emerges rougher than intended. My great-grandmother. Lily sets down the mug, her small face solemn. Mom said our family has special blood. That's why they want us. That's why you have to protect me like you promised. Special blood. The phrase triggers ancient hunger, quickly suppressed, but also memory. The Carter bloodline. Rare, distinctive, coveted by my kind for generations. I should call the authorities, remove myself from this situation. The entanglement is too dangerous. For her, for the careful life I've built. Instead, I find myself reaching for my phone, scrolling to a contact I haven't used in years. Dana Brooks, police officer. One of the few humans who knows what I am, who owes me a debt I've never collected. Until now. Wait here, I tell Lily, stepping into the hallway. Dana answers on the third ring, voice thick with sleep. Nathan, it's midnight. This better be important. I need information on an Emily Carter, or her descendants. Recent death yesterday. Daughter named Lily. A pause, keyboard clicking. Emily Carter. No, but I have an Emily Jones with a daughter named Rebecca Carter who died yesterday at Memorial Hospital. Suspected heart failure, pending autopsy. Left behind a daughter, Lily, age 8. Child's currently listed as missing. CPS has been notified. My grip tightens on the phone. I need you to delay CPS. The child is with me. Jesus, Nathan, that's kidnapping. She came to me. She's in danger. I lower my voice, though Lily can't possibly hear from the break room. It's connected to what I am, what we discussed. Silence stretches between us, finally. You have 12 hours before I have to report this. Not a minute more. I end the call, turning back toward the break room. Lily stands in the doorway, blanket draped around her shoulders like a cloak. Her eyes seem to glow in the dim hallway light. You believe me now, she says. Not a question. I'm considering the possibility. I crouch to her level again. Lily, I need you to tell me everything you know about these men who are watching you. Every detail. She steps closer, her small hand reaching out to touch my face. I flinch, but don't pull away. Her fingers are warm against my cold skin. Mom said you'd be cold, she whispers. She said it's because you're empty inside, that you've been empty for a very long time. My breath catches. The predator stirs, ancient and dangerous. Your mother knew a great deal about me. Lily nods solemnly. She said you drink blood because you're trying to fill the emptiness. But it never works. Her hand drops from my face. Are you going to drink my blood, Mr. Cross? The question hangs between us, innocent and terrible. I feel the weight of my years, my choices, my nature pressing down like a physical force. This child sees through me as no one has in centuries. No, Lily, I'm not going to hurt you. I stand slowly. But I need to understand why others might want to. Her small face hardens with determination beyond her years. It's because of what's in our blood, the thing that makes us remember. Remember what? She leans closer, her voice dropping to a whisper that sends ice through my veins. All our past lives, every single one, even the ones where we knew you, when you were still human. The word hangs in the air between us, impossibly heavy. My mind reels, centuries of carefully constructed walls threatening to crumble. I take an involuntary step back, my hand finding the wall for support. What did you say? My voice emerges as barely more than a whisper. Lily's eyes, Emily's eyes, hold mine without wavering. Mom showed me pictures in her mind, from before. When you walked in daylight. The predator inside me snarls, defensive and afraid. I've spent 5 centuries burying those memories so deeply that even I can scarcely recall the man I once was. Yet this child speaks of him as if he still exists, somewhere beneath my skin. Your mother couldn't possibly have known that, I manage. She remembered you. Lily's small fingers twist in the hem of her oversized shirt. She said our blood remembers everything. That's why the bad men want it. They want to remember, too. A cold dread settles in my stomach. If what she says is true, if Emily somehow accessed memories across centuries through her bloodline, then Marcus would indeed stop at nothing to possess that power. The implications are staggering. Lily, I say carefully, I need you to come with me. It isn't safe here. Her eyes narrow with sudden suspicion. Are you taking me to them? No. I'm taking you somewhere they can't find you. I extend my hand, knowing I'm crossing a line I've maintained for centuries. I promise to keep you safe. She studies my hand, then my face. Mom said you make lots of promises, but you forget them when you get hungry. The accusation stings with truth I can't deny. Your mother was right about many things, but not this time. After a moment's hesitation, her small hand slips into mine. Her warmth flows into my cold flesh, and with it comes a strange sensation, like a door long sealed beginning to crack open in the deepest recesses of my mind. We need to move quickly, I say, leading her toward the emergency stairs. Stay close. The descent through the stairwell is tense. My senses stretch to their limits. Every sound, the distant elevator chime, the hum of the building's ventilation, Lily's quickened breathing, registers with crystalline clarity. I can smell fear on her, but beneath it lies something else, a curious determination. Where are we going? She asks as we reach the ground floor. Somewhere unexpected, I answer, pausing at the exit door to listen for movement outside. Somewhere Marcus won't think to look immediately. I usher her through the service entrance and into the back alley. The night embraces us, a familiar comfort to me but clearly unsettling to Lily. She presses closer to my side as we move through the shadows. My car waits 3 blocks away, too far to risk walking openly. I lift Lily into my arms. Hold tight and close your eyes. This might feel strange. She obeys without question, burying her face against my shoulder. I summon the preternatural speed that is my birthright, moving through the darkness between streetlights like a ghost. The world blurs around us, buildings smearing into streaks of muted color as we traverse the distance in seconds. When I set her down beside my car, her eyes are wide with wonder. You're really fast, she whispers. One of many things I can do. I open the passenger door, but we don't have time for demonstrations. As we drive through the city, I catch her studying me in the glow of passing streetlights. Her gaze is unnervingly perceptive, as if she's seeing layers of me that I've long kept hidden. You're scared, she observes suddenly. I glance at her. What makes you say that? Your hands are tight on the wheel, and you keep looking in the mirrors. She pulls her knees to her chest. Mom looked like that too before she died. The mention of Emily sends a fresh wave of unease through me. Lily, how did your mother die? Her face clouds. They said it was an accident, but it wasn't. Who said it was an accident? The doctors, the police. Her voice drops. But I saw the man who pushed her. He had eyes like yours sometimes get, all red around the edges. My grip tightens on the steering wheel. When did this happen? 17 days ago. Her precision is unsettling. It was raining. We were walking home from the library. Mom saw something across the street and got really scared. She told me to run and not look back. Lily's voice wavers. But I didn't run far enough. I saw him push her into the street. The car couldn't stop in time. A muscle twitches in my jaw. This man, did you recognize him? She shakes her head. But he smiled after. Not a nice smile. Marcus, it had to be. But why kill Emily directly? It wasn't his style. Too messy, too public. Unless he'd grown desperate. What did your mother check out from the library that day? Lily's brow furrows. Old books, with weird writing. She said they had answers about our blood. I take a sharp turn, changing our route. If Emily had been researching her condition, those books might contain crucial information. Information Marcus may have already seized. We need to make a stop, I tell her. The city library looms dark and silent when we arrive. I park in the shadows of a nearby alley and turn to Lily. Wait here, lock the doors. Fear flashes across her face. Don't leave me alone. I'll be quick, I promise. And I'll be able to see the car the entire time. She reluctantly agrees, and I step into the night. The library's security system is laughably simple for one with my abilities. Within minutes, I'm inside, moving silently through the darkened stacks. The circulation desk yields to my search. Emily Carter's last borrowing record. 3 obscure texts on medieval blood rituals and 1 on genetic memory. I photograph the titles with my phone, knowing I won't have time to locate the actual volumes. As I turn to leave, a scent stops me. Familiar. Dangerous. Someone has been here recently. Someone like me. I race back to the car, relief washing over me when I see Lily's small form still huddled in the passenger seat. Her eyes widen as I slide in beside her. Someone else was looking for those books, I tell her, starting the engine. We need to keep moving. Where are we going now? I pull onto the empty street, checking the mirrors for any sign of pursuit. To see an old friend, someone who might help us understand what your mother discovered. The drive takes us to the outskirts of the city, where sprawling estates give way to more modest homes. I park before a small cottage nestled among ancient oaks, their branches casting spidery shadows across the moonlit lawn. Stay close, I instruct Lily as we approach the door. Before I can knock, the door swings open. Sam Turner stands in the threshold, his weathered face registering surprise, then concern. His eyes, sharp despite his 70 years, move from me to Lily. Nathan Cross, he says, his voice carrying the weight of our complicated history. This is unexpected. We need your help, Sam. His gaze lingers on Lily. And who might this young lady be? I'm Lily Carter, she answers before I can speak. My mom is dead, and bad men are trying to get me. Sam's expression softens. Carter? Emily Carter's daughter? I stiffen in surprise. You knew Emily? She consulted me about her research. Sam steps aside. You'd better come in, both of you. The interior of Sam's home is warm, cluttered with books and artifacts from his decades of anthropological research. Though he left the Cross Foundation board years ago to pursue his academic interests, we've maintained a cautious connection. One of the few humans who knows what I am and has chosen to keep my secret. Lily gravitates immediately to a shelf filled with tribal masks, her fingers hovering near but not touching them. Those are from Papua New Guinea, Sam tells her. Ceremonial masks used to communicate with ancestors. They look like they're watching us, she observes. Perhaps they are. Sam turns to me. Now, Nathan, perhaps you'd like to explain why you've brought Emily Carter's daughter to my door in the middle of the night. I keep my voice low. Emily was murdered. I believe Marcus Hale is responsible. Sam's expression darkens. Marcus, I should have known. He glances at Lily, who has moved on to examining a collection of ancient pottery. That child is in grave danger if what Emily discovered is true. And what exactly did she discover? Sam sinks into an armchair, suddenly looking every one of his years. Emily came to me about 3 months ago. She'd been experiencing episodes, vivid memories that couldn't possibly be her own, spanning centuries. He leans forward. She believed she was experiencing genetic memory, accessing the experiences of her ancestors through some anomaly in her blood. That's impossible, I say, though the predator inside me stirs with ancient hunger. Is it? More impossible than what you are? Sam's eyes hold mine. Emily traced her lineage back to the 16th century, to a particular family in northern Italy. My breath catches. Northern Italy, where I was born, where I was turned. She found records of a bloodline that was rumored to carry memories across generations. Sam continues. A bloodline that was hunted nearly to extinction by vampires, I finish, the pieces falling into place with terrible clarity. We called them memoria sanguis, the blood that remembers. Sam nods gravely. Emily believed she carried this trait, and that her daughter's blood was even more potent. Lily returns to us, her small face solemn. Mom said our blood can make the empty ones remember being human again. The implications hit me like a physical blow. If true, the blood of memoria sanguis could potentially restore human memories to vampires. Memories that fade over centuries until only the predator remains. For creatures like Marcus, who have existed far longer than I, such blood would be worth any price. That's why the shelter was targeted, I realize aloud. Not just for the property, Marcus discovered Emily was there. Sam's expression grows troubled. There's more, Nathan. Emily found evidence that the memoria sanguis bloodline was deliberately cultivated centuries ago, by one of your kind. Who? His eyes hold mine. She believed it was you. The accusation lands like a stake to my chest. That's not possible. I would remember. But would I? 5 centuries of existence, the early years lost in a haze of bloodlust and predatory instinct. What had I done before I learned control? Before I built my empire and crafted my human facade? She found journals, Sam continues. From the 1530s, they described a nobleman who protected certain families, ensuring their bloodlines continued while harvesting from them periodically. They called him Il Guardiano, the guardian. The title strikes a chord deep within me, resonating with fragmented memories I've long suppressed. Faces flash before my mind's eye. Women, men, children I had selected, protected, used. If what you're saying is true, I manage, then I've led Marcus directly to Lily. Not intentionally, Sam says. But yes, your interest in the shelter would have drawn his attention. And if he's been watching you, a small hand slips into mine. I look down to find Lily staring up at me, her eyes impossibly old in her young face. Mom said you forgot, she says simply, but that you might remember again. I kneel before her, searching her face. Lily, did your mother ever mention a place called Villa Rossi? A house in the mountains? Her eyes widen. The house with the red door. She dreamed about it all the time. Another piece clicks into place. Villa Rossi, my ancestral home, abandoned for centuries, a place I haven't thought of in lifetimes. We need to go there, I tell Sam. If Emily was right, If I did create this bloodline, then the answers will be at Villa Rossi. Nathan, that's halfway around the world. And Marcus will be expecting such a move. Not if we move quickly enough. I stand, decision made. We'll take my private jet. We can be in Italy by tomorrow night. Sam shakes his head. You're forgetting something rather important. Lily is a minor. You can't simply take her out of the country. Reality crashes back. He's right. CPS is already looking for her. International travel would trigger immediate alerts. Then we need a legal way to keep her in my custody, I say. At least temporarily. There might be a way. Sam moves to his desk, rifling through papers. Emily left something with me, for safekeeping. He extracts a sealed envelope and hands it to me. She said if anything happened to her, I should give this to whoever came looking for Lily. The envelope contains legal documents, Emily's will and a letter, designating me, Nathan Cross, as Lily's guardian in the event of her death. My hands tremble as I read the words. She knew, I whisper. She knew I would come for Lily. Emily Carter was a remarkable woman, Sam says quietly. She understood far more than most about the past and the future. I look at the documents again, noting the official notarization. Will this hold up legally? It should buy you some time. But Nathan, Sam's expression grows grave. If what Emily discovered is true, if Lily truly carries this gift in her blood, Marcus won't be the only one hunting her. Your entire kind will want to possess what she represents. The weight of responsibility settles over me like a shroud. For centuries, I've avoided attachments, lived by rules designed to protect my existence. Now I'm contemplating becoming guardian to a child who represents everything I've spent lifetimes running from, my humanity. We should rest here tonight, Sam suggests. I have a spare room where Lily can sleep. Tomorrow we can begin making arrangements. Lily yawns, the events of the day finally catching up with her small body. Sam shows her to the guest room, leaving me alone with my tumultuous thoughts. When he returns, his expression is somber. She's asleep. Poor child is exhausted. Sam, I say quietly, if I did create this bloodline, if I used these people for centuries, what does that make me? He studies me for a long moment. It makes you what you've always been, Nathan. A predator who's trying to remember how to be something more. And if I fail, if the predator wins, then Lily's fate will be the least of our concerns. He sighs heavily. I've known you for 30 years, Nathan. I've seen you fight your nature. But this will test you as nothing has before. The night passes slowly. I don't sleep, haven't truly slept in centuries, but I rest, allowing my mind to drift through fragments of memory. Images surface. A red door, a mountain villa, faces of women with eyes like Emily's, like Lily's, blood rituals performed in candlelit chambers, promises made and broken. Dawn approaches, and with it comes a decision. I find Sam in his study, already awake and researching on his computer. We can't wait, I tell him. Marcus knows about Lily. He'll have people watching airports, train stations. Our only advantage is moving immediately, before he can consolidate his resources. Sam looks up, concern etched in the lines of his face. The legal documents won't be processed yet. We'll have to risk it. I have connections who can expedite matters once we're in motion. I pause. Sam, I need you to come with us. He raises an eyebrow. To Italy? Your expertise in anthropology, your knowledge of Emily's research, we need both. And I hesitate. Lily trusts you. She'll need someone human to rely on. Understanding dawns in his eyes. You're afraid of what you might become, what you might do. I don't answer. I don't need to. Very well, he says after a moment. I'll come. But Nathan, you need to be prepared for what you might discover about yourself. I know. We wake Lily, who accepts the change of plans with the resilience of youth. As Sam packs essentials, I make calls to my pilot, to contacts who can smooth our departure, to Dana Brooks at the police department. Officer Brooks, I say when she answers, I need your assistance with a sensitive matter. Her voice is guarded. Mr. Cross, this is unexpected. I have Emily Carter's daughter with me. She's in danger. A sharp intake of breath. You found Lily? She's been missing since her mother's murder, I finish. Yes, I know. Emily left legal documentation naming me as Lily's guardian. I have reason to believe the people responsible for Emily's death are now targeting her daughter. That's a serious allegation, Mr. Cross. You should bring Lily in immediately. That's just it, Officer Brooks. I believe there may be people within the system who cannot be trusted. Emily's murder was made to look like an accident, but it wasn't. Silence stretches between us. Finally, she speaks. What do you need from me? Time and discretion. I'm taking Lily somewhere safe, somewhere off the grid. I need you to run interference with CPS. Tell them you're investigating leads on her whereabouts. What you're asking could cost me my badge. What I'm asking could save a child's life. Another pause. 48 hours. That's all I can give you. After that, I'll have to report exactly what you've told me. Thank you. As I end the call, I find Lily watching me from the doorway, her small suitcase packed and ready beside her. Are we really going to the house with the red door? She asks. Yes, to find answers about your mother, about your blood. About me, I don't add. She nods solemnly. Mom said we'd go there someday. She said it was where everything started. A chill runs through me at her words. Lily, did your mother tell you anything else about Villa Rossi? About what happened there? Her face scrunches in concentration. She said there was a secret room, with books that tell the truth. She looks up at me, her eyes suddenly piercing. And she said you did something terrible there, something you've been running from for a very long time. Before I can respond, Sam enters, his own bag packed. The car service is here. We should go. The journey to the private airfield passes in tense silence. Every shadow seems to hold potential threats, every passing vehicle a possible pursuer. Lily sits between Sam and me in the back seat, her small body radiating warmth that serves as a constant reminder of her humanity and of what I lack. At the airfield, my jet awaits, fueled and ready. The pilot, a discreet man who has served me for years, asks no questions about our unexpected passengers or destination. As we board, I sense Lily's nervousness. First time flying? I ask her. She nods. Mom and I never went anywhere far. She said it wasn't safe. Well, this plane is very safe, I assure her. And fast. We'll be in Italy before you know it. As the jet taxis toward the runway, I scan the airfield one last time. Nothing seems amiss, yet unease prickles along my spine. Marcus has resources everywhere. It seems impossible he wouldn't have tracked us here. The takeoff is smooth, the jet climbing rapidly into the morning sky. Lily watches out the window, her initial fear giving way to wonder as the city shrinks beneath us. Sam sits across from us, already immersed in documents he's brought. Emily's research notes, photocopied and annotated in his meticulous hand. Emily traced the Memoria Sanguis back 15 generations, he tells me, keeping his voice low as Lily continues to gaze out the window. Always through the maternal line, always manifesting most strongly in the daughters. And she believed I created this bloodline deliberately. Sam nods. According to the journals she found, you selected certain families with particular traits. You protected them, but also used them. Their blood gave you something other blood could not. Memories, I murmur. Human memories. Yes, Emily theorized that consuming their blood temporarily reconnected you to your humanity, that you became addicted to the sensation. The accusation stings, but rings with truth. Even now, 5 centuries removed from my humanity, I cling to its trappings. Art, music, literature, anything to feel something beyond the predator's hunger. If that's true, I say slowly, why would I abandon the bloodline? Why lose track of them? Sam's expression darkens. That's where Emily's research becomes troubling. She found evidence of a massacre at Villa Rossi in 1648. Nearly everyone in the household killed, torn apart according to reports. Only one survivor, a young girl who was found hiding in a secret chamber. My mind reels. 1648, the year I fled Europe, haunted by nightmares I could never quite remember. The year I swore never to return to Villa Rossi. You think I was responsible for the massacre? Emily believed something happened that night. Something that made you turn on the very bloodline you'd cultivated. Something that terrified even you. Lily turns from the window, her eyes finding mine with unsettling precision. Mom said you got scared because the memories started staying. That you weren't just remembering being human when you drank. You were becoming human again. Her words strike me like physical blows. The implications are staggering. If the Memoria Sanguis blood could permanently restore a vampire's humanity, even partially, it would be both miracle and catastrophe. For creatures like Marcus, who revel in their immortal power, such a possibility would be existential threat. That's why Marcus killed your mother, I say, the pieces finally aligning, not just for her blood, but to stop her research from becoming public. Sam nods grimly. Emily contacted me just days before her death. She said she'd found something at the library, something that confirmed her worst fears. She was planning to go into hiding. But she didn't make it, I finish. No. And now her daughter is the last known carrier of the bloodline. Lily has gone very still, her small face solemn as she absorbs our words. Am I going to die too? She asks with heartbreaking directness. No, I tell her, surprising myself with the fierceness in my voice. I won't let that happen. But you're one of them, she points out. You drink blood too. I am, I acknowledge. But I'm also something else. Something I've been running from for a very long time. I meet her gaze steadily. Your mother called me Il Guardiano, the guardian. Perhaps it's time I remembered what that means. The jet engines hum, carrying us eastward toward a past I've spent centuries avoiding. Toward a truth that may destroy everything I've built. Toward a reckoning long overdue. Hours pass. Lily eventually drifts to sleep, her small body curled in the plush seat. Sam continues poring over Emily's research, occasionally sharing pertinent details. I stare out at the darkening sky, my mind churning with fragments of memory that refuse to coalesce into a coherent whole. The pilot's voice breaks through my reverie. Mr. Cross, we're beginning our descent. We should be on the ground in 30 minutes. I nod acknowledgement, then gently wake Lily. We're almost there. She blinks sleepily, then sits up straight, suddenly alert. Something's wrong. What do you mean? Her eyes dart around the cabin, wide with fear. I can feel it. Someone bad is waiting for us. I exchange glances with Sam, who looks equally concerned. Lily, how do you know this? I just do. Her small hands clutch at the armrests. Mom could feel things too, before they happened. Another aspect of the memoria sanguis I hadn't considered. Precognition, or something like it. I moved to the cockpit, instructing the pilot to contact the private airfield and inquire about any unusual activity. He does so, then turns to me with a frown. They report everything normal, sir. But what? The tower operator's voice sounded strained, like someone was standing over him. My decision is immediate. Change of plans. Divert to the secondary airfield in Florence. Sir, we're already on approach. Do it now. The pilot complies, banking the jet sharply. I return to the main cabin to find Sam securing loose items and Lily watching me with knowing eyes. They're waiting for us, she says simply. Yes, but we're not going to make it easy for them. I take the seat beside her. Lily, I need you to tell me exactly what you're feeling, what you're sensing. She closes her eyes, her face scrunching in concentration. There are 3 of them. Cold ones, like you. They're angry. Her eyes snap open. And they know we've changed course. A chill runs through me. If Marcus has vampires waiting at both potential landing sites, our options are severely limited. Even if we land safely, we'll be vulnerable during the drive to Villa Rossi. The jet banks again as the pilot adjusts our course. Through the window, I can see the lights of Florence in the distance. We're committed now, for better or worse. Nathan, Sam says quietly, if Marcus has people waiting, we need a contingency plan. I nod grimly. I know. I turn to Lily. When we land, you stay close to Sam. No matter what happens, do exactly as he tells you. What are you going to do? She asks, fear evident in her voice. I don't answer directly. Instead, I move to my luggage and extract a small case. Inside lies something I haven't used in decades. A silver-plated dagger, its handle worn smooth from centuries of use. Is that for the bad men? Lily asks. If necessary. I slip the weapon inside my jacket. But with luck, we won't need it. The pilot's voice comes through the intercom again. Final approach, Mr. Cross. Please secure yourselves. As the jet descends toward the Florence airfield, I sense Lily's fear intensifying. Her small hand finds mine, surprisingly warm against my cold skin. They're getting closer, she whispers. I can feel them waiting. The jet touches down with a slight bump, taxiing toward a private hangar illuminated by floodlights. Through the window, I can make out several figures standing in the shadows beyond the light's reach. Stay on the plane, I instruct Sam and Lily. Lock the door behind me. Nathan, Sam begins to protest. If I'm not back in 10 minutes, tell the pilot to take off. Go to the American consulate in Florence. Ask for Consul Jenkins. He's an old friend. Before either can argue further, I'm moving toward the exit. As the door opens and the stairs descend, I catch a familiar scent on the night air. Vampire. At least 3, as Lily sensed. I step onto the tarmac, my senses heightened, the predator within me stirring in anticipation. The figures in the shadows remain motionless, watching, waiting. I know you're there, I call out. Show yourselves. A low chuckle emerges from the darkness, followed by a voice I haven't heard in decades. Nathan Cross, always so direct. Marcus Hale steps into the light, his ageless face bearing the same cold smile I remember. Did you really think I wouldn't find you? Two other vampires flank him. Younger, stronger, their predatory nature less concealed than his carefully cultivated human facade. What do you want, Marcus? I ask, though I already know the answer. Don't insult my intelligence. His smile never wavers. You have something that belongs to me. The Carter child. She belongs to no one. Oh, but she does. He takes a step closer. She belongs to history, to our kind, to the future of what we might become. His eyes gleam with fanatical light. Did you think I wouldn't discover what you've been hiding all these centuries? The blood that remembers? I maintain my position, calculating distances, angles, possibilities. If you know about the Memoria Sanguis, then you know what it can do, what it might do to you. Restore my humanity. He laughs, the sound devoid of warmth. Is that what you fear, Nathan? That I might remember what it is to be human? He shakes his head. I have no interest in remembering weakness. I want the girl's blood for what it truly offers, power, the accumulated knowledge of centuries, without the burden of human conscience. You're insane. I'm visionary. His expression hardens. Now, where is the child? Safe from you. His smile returns, colder than before. No one is safe from me, Nathan. Not even you. He gestures casually. Bring her out, or my associates will retrieve her after they've finished with you. The two vampires beside him tense, ready to attack. I assess my chances. Not good, but not impossible. If I can create enough of a distraction, perhaps Sam and Lily can escape. You've forgotten something important, Marcus, I say, my hand moving slowly toward the dagger concealed in my jacket. And what might that be? My fingers close around the weapon's handle. I'm older than you. I've seen empires rise and fall. I've survived plagues, wars, and hunters. I draw the dagger in one fluid motion. And I've killed far more dangerous creatures than you. Marcus's eyes narrow at the sight of the blade. Silver? How disappointingly traditional. Sometimes the old ways are best. His face transforms, the human mask dropping away to reveal the predator beneath. Take him, he commands his associates. They move with blinding speed, but I'm ready. Centuries of existence have honed my reflexes beyond what even most vampires can match. I sidestep the first attacker, the silver dagger slashing across his chest. He howls in pain. Silver doesn't kill our kind, but it burns, weakens. The second vampire circles cautiously, looking for an opening. I keep both him and Marcus in my sightline, aware that my position is precarious. If they coordinate their attack, I won't be able to fend off both. From the corner of my eye, I see movement at the jet's door. Sam appears, Lily behind him. No, they should have stayed inside. Marcus sees them too. His smile widens. Ah, there she is, the last of the Memoria Sanguis. The distraction costs me. The second vampire lunges, catching me across the shoulder with clawed hands. Pain flares, but I use the momentum to drive my dagger into his side. He stumbles back, hissing in agony. Sam, get her back inside, I shout, but it's too late. Marcus moves with the fluid grace of the ancient predator he is, covering the distance to the jet in seconds. Sam tries to block his path, but is swatted aside like a bothersome insect, his body crumpling against the hangar wall. No! Lily screams, her voice piercing the night. I fight with renewed desperation, my dagger finding the first vampire's heart. Not a killing blow, but enough to incapacitate. The second circles warily, injured but still dangerous. Marcus reaches the jet stairs, his hand extending toward Lily, who stands frozen in terror. "Come, child," he says, his voice a hypnotic purr. "Your blood has a destiny to fulfill." Something snaps inside me, a dam breaking, memories flooding back in a torrent of images and sensations. Villarosi, the red door, the secret chamber beneath the house where I conducted my experiments, the women and children whose blood gave me glimpses of humanity. The night it all went wrong. "Lily!" I shout, my voice carrying a command I haven't used in centuries. "Remember!" Her eyes widen, locking with mine across the distance. Something passes between us, a recognition deeper than conscious thought. Her small body straightens, fear giving way to an eerie calm. "I remember you," she says, her voice changing, deepening with echoes of other voices, women's voices, spanning centuries. "Il Guardiano, you swore an oath." Marcus freezes, confusion flickering across his face. "What is this?" Lily takes a step forward, her movements suddenly fluid, adult. "Blood of my blood, guardian of my line. I call upon the oath of protection." The words trigger something primal within me, a binding I'd forgotten, a promise made in blood centuries ago. Power surges through my veins, not the predator's power, but something older, deeper. "No!" Marcus lunges for Lily, but an invisible force repels him, sending him staggering backward. I seize the moment, crossing the distance between us with supernatural speed. My dagger finds his shoulder, driving deep. He howls in pain and rage. "This isn't over, Nathan," he snarls, wrenching away from me. "The girl will be mine. The memoria sanguis will serve its true purpose." Before I can pursue, he vanishes into the darkness, moving too quickly for even my eyes to track. His remaining associate follows, leaving us alone on the tarmac. I rush to Sam, who is stirring groggily, blood trickling from a cut on his forehead. "Can you stand?" He nods weakly. "What happened?" "Lily." "She's safe." I help him to his feet, then turn to where Lily still stands on the jet stairs. But something has changed. The eerie adult presence has left her. She sways slightly, her eyes unfocused. "Lily?" I approach cautiously. She blinks, confusion evident on her small face. "Mr. Cross? What happened?" "I felt strange." "You remembered," I tell her gently. "Just for a moment, you accessed the memories in your blood." Her brow furrows. "There were voices, women's voices. They knew you." "Yes." I help her down the stairs. "They did, a long time ago." Sam limps toward us, his face pale but determined. "Marcus will be back, with reinforcements." "I know." Scan the darkened airfield, all senses alert for any sign of return. "We need to move quickly. Villarosi isn't far, perhaps 2 hours by car." "Is it safe?" Sam asks. "If Marcus knows we're in Italy, he'll expect us to run, to leave the country." I make my decision. Villarosi is the last place he'll look immediately, and it contains answers we need. Lily tugs at my sleeve. I saw it, when the voices came, the house with the red door, and something underneath it. "The chamber," I murmur. "Yes, it's still there. After all these centuries." We move quickly, securing a car from the airfield service and leaving the pilot with instructions to file a false flight plan to Rome. As we drive through the Italian night, Lily drifts into exhausted sleep in the back seat, while Sam tends to his injuries beside her. "What happened back there?" he asks quietly. "What Lily did, it wasn't natural." "No," I agree, my eyes on the winding mountain road ahead. "It was supernatural. The memoria sanguis manifesting in its purest form. For a moment, she channeled her ancestors, all of them, speaking through her." "And this oath she mentioned?" I grip the steering wheel tighter. A blood oath I made centuries ago. To protect the bloodline I created. To ensure it survived. Why would you create such a bloodline? What purpose did it serve? The question hangs between us as memories continue to surface. Memories I've suppressed for hundreds of years. I was trying to cure myself, I finally admit, to find a way back to humanity. Sam's expression softens with understanding. And did you? Find a cure? I thought I had, for a brief time. My voice grows distant. But something went wrong. The night of the massacre, I break off. The memory's still too fragmented, too painful. Emily believed you lost control, Sam says carefully. That the predator within you turned on the very bloodline you'd created. The accusation strikes deep, resonating with my darkest fears. If that's true, if I was responsible, then I've brought Lily into terrible danger. Not just from Marcus, but from myself. Sam is silent for a long moment. Perhaps that's why we're here. Not just to protect Lily from Marcus, but to help you remember the truth, to face what happened. The road narrows as we climb higher into the mountains, ancient trees crowding close on either side. In the distance, I can just make out the silhouette of Villa Rossi against the night sky, a place I swore never to return to, now our only hope for answers. We're almost there, I tell Sam. Wake Lily. She needs to be alert. As Sam gently rouses the child, I steel myself for what lies ahead. The villa looms larger as we approach, its stone walls pale in the moonlight. And there, just visible in the darkness, the red door still standing after all these centuries. I park the car at the base of the winding drive, instinct telling me we'll be less vulnerable on foot. As we exit the vehicle, Lily gasps, her eyes fixed on the villa. It's just like in the dreams, she whispers. Just like Mom described. Stay close, I instruct them both. The villa has been abandoned for centuries, but that doesn't mean it's empty. We approach cautiously, my senses stretched to their limits for any sign of danger. The red door stands slightly ajar, as if inviting us in, or warning us away. I push it open, wincing at the creak of ancient hinges. The interior is dark, dusty, but remarkably preserved. Furniture draped in yellowed sheets, paintings still hanging on walls, a grand staircase rising to upper floors. Time seems suspended here, frozen at the moment I fled centuries ago. Lily moves forward as if in a trance, her small hand trailing along a dust-covered table. This way, she says with quiet certainty. The secret is below. She leads us through the villa's ground floor to a small study at the back. Bookshelves line the walls, their contents long since decayed to dust. Lily approaches one particular shelf, her hand hovering before a row of crumbling leather spines. Here, she says, behind these. I step forward, gently removing the fragile books, to reveal a small lever concealed in the woodwork behind them. The mechanism is ancient, but responds to my touch. A section of the floor slides away, revealing stone steps descending into darkness. The chamber, I murmur, memories flooding back, where it all began and where it ended. Sam produces a flashlight from his pack, its beam illuminating the narrow staircase. Ladies first? He jokes weakly, attempting to lighten the oppressive atmosphere. I'll go first, I say. Lily between us, Sam at the rear. The descent feels like a journey into my own buried past. Each step brings more memories. The women I selected for their special blood, the experiments I conducted, the journals where I recorded my findings. And finally, the night everything changed. The chamber at the bottom of the stairs is larger than I remembered, its stone walls lined with empty sconces that once held torches. A large table dominates the center, its surface stained dark with what can only be blood. Against the far wall stands a cabinet filled with ancient glass vials, their contents long since evaporated. Lily moves through the space with eerie familiarity, her fingers trailing along the table's edge. "This is where you took their blood," she says softly. "Where you drank and remembered." "Yes," I admit, shame washing through me. "I used them, your ancestors, to recapture my humanity, to remember what it felt like to be human." "And it worked," Sam observes, examining the cabinet of vials. "According to Emily's research, you found a way to make the effects permanent." I thought I had. I move to a corner of the room, where a small chest sits covered in centuries of dust. The final formula was here, a combination of the memoria sanguis and certain herbs, prepared in a specific way. As I reach for the chest, a voice speaks from the shadows behind us. "And that formula is exactly what I've come for." We spin to find Marcus standing at the foot of the stairs, blocking our only exit. Behind him are 5 vampires, their predatory nature barely contained beneath human facades. "How did you find us?" I demand, positioning myself between him and Lily. Marcus smiles coldly. "You're not the only one with connections to the past, Nathan. I've been tracking the memoria sanguis for centuries, ever since rumors of your experiments first reached me." He steps further into the chamber. "I simply lacked the final piece, the location of your laboratory. Until now." Sam moves closer to Lily, his body tensed protectively. "You'll never get what you want, Marcus. Not while Nathan lives." "That," Marcus says with a casual shrug, "can be arranged." He gestures to his associates. "Kill Cross and the old man. Bring me the girl. Alive." The vampires surge forward as one. I meet them head-on, centuries of survival instinct taking over. The silver dagger flashes in the dim light, finding flesh, drawing screams of pain. But they are many, and I am one. From the corner of my eye, I see Sam pulling Lily toward the cabinet, desperately searching for any weapon or escape. Marcus circles the fighting, his focus entirely on the child. A vampire's claws rake across my back, tearing through jacket and flesh. Pain flares, but I use it, channeling it into renewed strength. My dagger finds a heart, a throat, incapacitating but not killing. "Nathan!" Sam's desperate cry draws my attention. Marcus has him by the throat, lifting him effortlessly from the ground. "Let him go!" I snarl, fighting to reach them through the press of attackers. Marcus smiles. "Surrender the girl, and perhaps I'll consider it." Lily stands frozen against the cabinet, her eyes wide with terror. Then something changes in her expression. The same eerie transformation I witnessed at the airfield. Her posture straightens, her eyes taking on the ancient quality that transcends her years. "Blood remembers," she says, her voice once again layered with echoes of her ancestors. "Blood knows the truth." She reaches behind her, her hand finding a small drawer in the cabinet that I had forgotten existed. From it, she withdraws a single vial, its contents still liquid after all these centuries, preserved by means I never understood. "The cure," Marcus breathes, his grip on Sam loosening in his surprise. "After all this time." "Not a cure," Lily corrects, her voice still carrying those eerie echoes. "A choice, to remember, to feel, to be human again." Marcus laughs, the sound harsh in the stone chamber. "And you think I want that? To be weak again? Mortal again?" "No," I say. understanding finally dawning. You want the opposite. You want to use the memoria sanguis to gain knowledge without humanity, to become something even more monstrous than we already are. Evolution, Nathan, the next step for our kind. His eyes gleam with fanatical light. Imagine it, all the accumulated wisdom of centuries, without the burden of human conscience or emotion. That's not evolution, Sam gasps, still struggling in Marcus's grip. That's damnation. Marcus tightens his hold, and Sam's words end in a choked gurgle. Enough philosophy. Give me the vial, child, or watch your protector die. Lily looks at me, her eyes somehow both ancient and young. In that gaze, I see a question and a terrible choice. Lily, I say softly, whatever you decide, I will stand by you. She nods once, decision made. With deliberate movements, she uncorks the vial. But instead of offering it to Marcus, she raises it to her own lips. No. Marcus releases Sam, lunging toward Lily. I intercept him, my body colliding with his in midair. We crash to the stone floor, a tangle of inhuman strength and centuries-old hatred. From the corner of my eye, I see Lily drinking the vial's contents, her small face contorting at the taste. You fool, Marcus hisses, his hand closing around my throat. Do you have any idea what you've done? Before I can answer, a strange light begins to fill the chamber, emanating not from any external source but from Lily herself. Her skin seems to glow from within, pulsing with a rhythm like a heartbeat. The fighting stops as all eyes turn to the child. She stands perfectly still, the empty vial dangling from her fingers, her eyes closed in concentration. When they open, they burn with an inner light that is both beautiful and terrifying. I remember everything, she says, her voice now fully adult, carrying the weight of countless generations. Every life, every death, every promise made and broken. Her gaze finds mine, including yours, Il Guardiano. The light around her intensifies, spreading outward in waves that wash over us all. As it touches me, memories explode in my mind, not fragments now, but complete and devastating. The night of the massacre, the terrible truth I've hidden even from myself. It wasn't me who slaughtered the bloodline, it was Marcus, younger then, but already ambitious, already ruthless. He had discovered my experiments, understood their potential, and sought to claim the memoria sanguis for himself. I had fought him, nearly died in the process, and in my weakened state had only managed to save one child, spiriting her away to safety before collapsing from my wounds. When I recovered, the trauma of that night had fractured my memories. Guilt and fear had done the rest, convincing me that I must have been responsible, that the predator within me had finally won. And so I had fled, vowing never to return, never to seek out the bloodline again, abandoning my oath as guardian out of misplaced shame. You remember now? Lily says, reading the truth in my face. You know who you really are. Marcus struggles against my grip, his face contorted with rage and fear. Kill her, he shouts to his remaining associates. Kill her now, before... But the light washing from Lily intensifies, enveloping Marcus's vampires. They freeze, their expressions transforming from predatory hunger to something I haven't seen on vampire faces in centuries. Human emotion, horror, remorse, anguish. What have you done? Marcus whispers, watching as his followers crumple to the ground, overcome by the weight of remembered humanity. What was always meant to be, Lily answers. Her gaze shifts to me. The choice, Nathan. Make it now. I understand what she's offering, what the Memoria Sanguis has always offered, not just memories of humanity, but humanity itself. A return to what I once was, at the cost of what I've become. Marcus sees it too. With a howl of rage, he breaks free of my grip and lunges toward Lily, claws extended. I'll kill you before I let you destroy what we are. Time seems to slow. I see Marcus moving toward Lily, see Sam trying to intercept him, see the light pulsing around us all. In that suspended moment, I make my choice. I throw myself between Marcus and Lily, feeling his claws tear through my chest, piercing where my heart once beat. Pain explodes through me, but I hold fast, my arms locking around him in an unbreakable grip. Now, Lily, I gasp. Do it now! The light surges, enveloping us both. Marcus screams as it penetrates him, forcing humanity back into his long-dead soul. I feel it too. Warmth spreading through my cold body, memories flooding back not just of my vampire existence, but of the man I was before. Nathan Cross, son, brother, human. Marcus writhes in my grip, his screams becoming more human with each passing second. No, I don't want this. I don't want to feel again. Too late, I whisper, my own transformation progressing. Too late for both of us. The light reaches its peak, blinding in its intensity. Marcus gives one final human cry, then goes limp in my arms. Not dead, but unconscious, overwhelmed by the return of his humanity. As the light begins to fade, I feel myself slipping toward darkness as well. Marcus's attack was fatal, even for one as old as me. The irony doesn't escape me. To die now, just as I remember what it means to be human. Lily kneels beside me, her small hand touching my face. The ancient presence has left her. She is just a child again, though her eyes hold wisdom beyond her years. You kept your promise, she says softly. You protected the bloodline. I try to speak, but blood fills my mouth. Sam appears beside her, his face grave as he assesses my wounds. Nathan, he says, his voice breaking. Hold on, we'll get help. But we both know it's too late. The light has changed me, made me more human than vampire, and humans die. Lily, I manage to whisper. The formula, destroy it. No one should. I know, she interrupts, her small face solemn. Mom told me what to do. If anyone ever found this place again. She rises, moving to the ancient cabinet. From another hidden drawer, she withdraws a small pouch. With practiced movements that speak of inherited memory, she sprinkles its contents around the chamber. Sam, I gasp. Get her out. Now. He understands immediately, gathering Lily into his arms. What about you? I'll follow, I lie. Go. As they hurry up the stone steps, I gather the last of my strength to crawl toward Marcus's unconscious form. His face is peaceful in a way I've never seen it. Human again, after all these centuries. We were both wrong, I tell him, though he cannot hear. Both running from what we feared most. I hear Sam and Lily reach the top of the stairs, hear the mechanism of the hidden door sliding closed behind them. Good. They're safe. What happens next is a blur of fire and light. The ancient chemicals Lily scattered ignite in a flash that races along the floor like liquid lightning. The chamber fills with acrid smoke that burns my lungs, but I don't move. This is right. This is how it should end. Marcus stirs beside me, his eyes fluttering open. For a moment, there's only confusion in his gaze, then stark realization. What have you done? He croaks. What Emily wanted, I whisper. What should have been done centuries ago? The flames climb higher. licking at the ancient walls. Centuries of our dark history. The formulas, the blood samples, the records of our experiments, all of it will be ash. The secret of Lily's bloodline will die here with us. Marcus tries to rise but falls back with a groan. The light has weakened him too much. "You fool," he hisses. "We could have been gods." "We were never meant to be gods," I tell him. "That was always our mistake." The smoke thickens, and I close my eyes, ready for the end. After 800 years, I'm finally finished. There's a strange peace in that thought. Then I hear it, the scraping of stone against stone. The hidden door slides open again, and footsteps pound down the stairs. "Nathan!" Sam's voice cuts through the roar of the flames. "Damn it, I knew you were lying." I try to wave him away, but I'm too weak. Through the smoke, I see his silhouette, a handkerchief pressed to his face. Behind him stands Officer Brooks, her gun drawn, eyes wide at the inferno. "Get out," I rasp. "Let it end." "Not happening," Sam says, grabbing my arm and hauling me upright. The pain is blinding, but somehow I remain conscious. "Brooks, help me with him." "What about him?" Brooks gestures toward Marcus with her gun. I look down at my ancient enemy, at the man who was once my friend. In his eyes, I see not hatred, but resignation. Perhaps even a flicker of relief. "He stays," I say. "It's what he wants." Marcus gives me a barely perceptible nod. "The girl," he whispers. "Protect her better than we protected Emily." It's the closest thing to redemption I'll ever hear from him. I nod back, a final acknowledgement between old adversaries. Sam and Brooks drag me up the stairs as the chamber collapses behind us. The last I see of Marcus Hale is his face, calm in the dancing flames, 8 centuries of existence returning to dust. The hospital room is too bright, too sterile. I've been here 3 days, my body healing at a rate that has the doctors baffled. They've run tests, drawn blood, whispered in hallways. Soon, they'll have questions I can't answer. "You need to eat," Sam says, pushing a cup of dark liquid toward me. Not blood. Coffee. My stomach turns at the smell. "Your body's changing, Nathan. You need human food now." I take a reluctant sip. It tastes of ash and bitterness, but I force it down. The light in the chamber altered me, not enough to make me human, but enough to weaken the vampire. I exist now in some twilight state between the two. "Where's Lily?" I ask for the 100th time. "Still with Dana Brooks. She's safe." Sam sits on the edge of the bed. The fire destroyed everything in that chamber. The official report says it was an electrical fault in the old winery. Marcus Hale is presumed dead in the accident. And Haven House? Sam's expression darkens. "The board is in chaos without Marcus. They're talking about selling the property, cutting their losses." I struggle to sit up, ignoring the pain in my chest. "I need to get out of here. We need to stop them." "You need to heal," Sam insists. "Brooks is keeping things under control for now. And there's something else." He hesitates. "Dr. Lawson wants to talk to you about your unusual recovery." As if summoned, Dr. Lawson appears in the doorway, his face grave. "Mr. Cross, you're looking remarkably better." He glances at the monitors, at the chart in his hands. "In fact, your recovery defies medical explanation." I meet his gaze steadily. "I've always been a quick healer, doctor." "Not like this." He closes the door behind him. "Your blood work shows anomalies I've never seen before, except once." He pauses meaningfully. "In Lily Carter's samples." The room seems to grow colder. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying that whatever makes that little girl special, you share it. and I think you know more than you're telling about what happened in that fire. His eyes narrow. People are asking questions, Mr. Cross. Important people. I'm sure they are, I say carefully, but my primary concern remains Lily's welfare, as does mine, Loss Encounters, which is why I've held back certain observations from my official reports, for now. The threat hangs in the air between us. I've lived long enough to recognize when I'm being leveraged. What do you want, Doctor? The truth, he says simply. About you, about Lily, about what really happened to Emily Carter. The Haven House board meeting is tense, the air thick with unspoken accusations. I sit at the head of the table, Marcus's former place, still weak but dressed impeccably in a suit that hangs too loosely on my frame. Sam stands behind me, a silent support. Mr. Cross, says Judith Winters, the interim chairperson, while we appreciate your enthusiasm for Haven House, the reality is that without Marcus Hale's financial backing, the foundation cannot continue to operate. The property will have to be sold. I look around the table at these people who never questioned Marcus, never wondered where his wealth came from or what he truly wanted from Haven House. They're afraid now, of the future, of change, of me. That won't be necessary, I say quietly. I'm prepared to assume Mr. Hale's financial commitments to Haven House, in full. A ripple of surprise moves through the room. Judith adjusts her glasses nervously. That's very generous, but surely you don't have the resources. I assure you I do. I slide a folder across the table. These are the transfer documents for an endowment that will fund Haven House in perpetuity. My lawyers have already begun the process. They stare at the figures in disbelief. 800 years accumulates considerable wealth, even for one who cares little for money. There is, however, one condition, I continue. Haven House will be restructured. Its primary mission will be to provide a safe home for Lily Carter, under my guardianship, and for other children like her, those who have nowhere else to go. You? Judith looks skeptical. No offense, Mr. Cross, but you're hardly parent material. And after your accident, there are questions about your health. I'm aware, I say calmly, which is why I've asked Officer Brooks to join us. On cue, Dana Brooks enters the room, Lily at her side. The child's eyes find mine immediately, and she smiles, a small, secret smile that speaks of shared knowledge. Officer Brooks has agreed to serve as Haven House's new director of security, I explain. And as for my suitability as Lily's guardian, I nod to Brooks. She places a folder on the table. The court has provisionally approved Mr. Cross's petition for guardianship, pending home evaluation. CPS Officer Green has signed off on the arrangement, given the special circumstances. What Brooks doesn't say is how much convincing it took, how many strings were pulled, how many officials were persuaded to look the other way. Some with money, some with the truth, or parts of it. This is highly irregular, Judith protests. So is Lily, I say softly. As was her mother. Haven House was built to protect them. I intend to honor that purpose. Lily steps forward, her small hand finding mine. I want to stay with Nathan, she says, her voice clear and confident. He promised Mom he'd take care of me. The board members exchange uncomfortable glances. They sense something has shifted, that power has changed hands, but they don't understand how or why. Very well, Judith finally concedes. Given the financial arrangement, we'll approve the restructuring. But Mr. Cross, the board will be watching you closely. I smile, feeling the weight of centuries in the expression. I would expect nothing less. Haven House transforms over the following months. The austere institution softens, becomes a home. Children's laughter echoes through hallways once silent. Gardens bloom where only weeds grew before. And at the center of it all is Lily, flourishing like a flower finally given sunlight. I watch her from the window of what was once Marcus's office, now mine. She's playing with two new arrivals, children with their own strange gifts, their own needs for protection. Sam found them, as he's found others. He has a talent for recognizing the special ones. They're settling in well, Brooke says, joining me at the window. She's become more than an ally, a friend, perhaps the first truly human friend I've had in centuries. They are, I agree. Thanks to you. She shrugs off the compliment. The security system installation will be finished next week. No one gets in or out without us knowing. Good. I turn from the window. Any word from Lawson? He's keeping his end of the bargain. Your medical records have been adjusted. As far as the world is concerned, you're just an eccentric philanthropist with a rare blood condition. Not entirely a lie. My body continues to change, to exist in that strange twilight between human and vampire. I need less blood now, can tolerate more sunlight. Food still tastes of ash, but I'm learning to appreciate the ritual of meals shared with Lily and the others. And the others? I ask. The ones who knew Marcus? Brooks's expression darkens. Quiet for now, but they're out there. The vampire community isn't happy about Marcus's death, or about your new direction. Let them come, I say, with more confidence than I feel. Haven House is protected now. A knock at the door interrupts us. Sam enters, his face grave. Nathan, we need to talk. Alone. Brooks nods, understanding. I'll check on the kids. When she's gone, Sam places a small wooden box on my desk. I found this in the remains of the chamber. The fire didn't touch it. I recognize it immediately. Emily's box, the one she'd hidden her research in. With trembling hands, I open it. Inside lies a single vial of dark liquid and a note in Emily's handwriting. For Lily, when she's ready. For Nathan, when he understands. What is it? Sam asks. I hold the vial up to the light. The answer, I think, or part of it. I tuck the vial back into the box. But not yet. Lily deserves a childhood first. Sam studies me, concern etched in his features. And you? What do you deserve? The question catches me off guard. For centuries, I've thought only of survival, of power, of the next move in an endless game. What do I deserve? Punishment, perhaps. Oblivion, certainly. But fate has given me something else entirely. A second chance, I say, finally. One I don't intend to waste. The night is clear, stars scattered across the sky like diamonds on black velvet. Lily sits beside me on the roof of Haven House, our private spot when the weight of our secrets becomes too heavy. Tell me about Mom again, she says, leaning against my side. The real story. I wrap an arm around her small shoulders. Your mother was the bravest person I ever knew. She discovered what Marcus and I had been searching for centuries, the key to our condition, the reason some bloodlines can create or destroy vampires. My bloodline, Lily says softly. Yes, you carry something ancient in your veins, something that existed before vampires, before the darkness. Emily called it the original light. She believed it could heal the divide between human and vampire, not by making vampires more powerful, but by making them more human. Like you, Lily observes, looking up at me with those two wise eyes. Like me, I acknowledge, though I don't think this is what she intended. The chamber, the formulas, they were never meant to be weapons. They were meant to be cures. Lily is quiet for a moment, processing. Do you miss it? Being a full vampire? I consider the question carefully. I miss the certainty. For 800 years, I knew exactly what I was, what I needed, what I could do. Now, I gesture vaguely at myself. Now I'm something new, something between. A bridge, Lily says with sudden conviction. That's what Mom called you in her journals, the bridge between worlds. I feel a chill that has nothing to do with the night air. You've read her journals? Lily gives me a look that's pure adolescent exasperation, though she's only 9. Of course I have. She left them for me to find. And what else did these journals say? She looks up at the stars, her expression thoughtful beyond her years. That there would be others like me, that we'd need protection, that you would build us a haven. She turns those ancient eyes on me, that you would be our guardian. The word resonates through me like a bell. Guardian. Not king, not ruler, not predator. Guardian. Is that what you want? I ask her. For me to be your guardian? Her small hand finds mine, warm against my cooler skin. You already are. Below us, Haven House sleeps. Within its walls rest children with gifts the world isn't ready to understand. Children who would be exploited, feared, perhaps destroyed if not for this sanctuary. My sanctuary. My redemption. I breathe in the night air, and for the first time in centuries, I taste not just the scents of prey and predator, but something else. Possibility. The copper tang of blood still calls to me, but fainter now, more distant. In its place is the scent of Lily's shampoo, of the garden Sam planted, of the cookies Brooks brought for the children. The scent of home. Look, Lily whispers, pointing to the horizon. The sun's coming. Indeed, the first pale light of dawn touches the distant hills. Once, I would have retreated from it, fled to darkness and safety. Now I sit still, Lily's hand in mine, and watch as the new day approaches. I don't know what I am becoming. I don't know what challenges wait in the light. But for the first time in 800 years, I'm not afraid to find out. The sun breaks over the horizon, its rays touching my face with gentle warmth instead of burning pain. Beside me, Lily smiles, her face turned toward the light, and I smile back, tasting the dawn on my tongue like a promise.